Alrighty. Just checked something. Okay, let's start with breathing. Standing up. Inhale, open, stretch out and up. Turn this light on too. It's dark and gloomy. Oh, volume is on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, breathing, breathing, breathing. Inhale, open, stretch out and up. Exhale, just shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Inhale, inhale, open. Reach to the ceiling, reach to the heavens, and exhale, shake, 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 bounce, let go of tension, melt, soften, release. And again, inhale, open, reach it up, exhale, shake, shake, shake. Let go of tension in your face, in your neck. It's funny, like the shaking could be very gentle. If you haven't moved much, then shake gently, shake easy. But if you're more awake, if you've already done some stuff this morning, be more activated, be more active in your shaking. And then let's go to twisting, spiraling, looking around behind you, seeing what's back there. It feels good to move. I took a pole class on Monday and it had been a long time since I took pole and now I am sore. Let's do a turn towards the foot that you're turning towards that direction, shifting your weight towards the back foot. Finding a sense of flow in your movement, ongoing motion. And then let's come in and circles with your pelvis. It won't do it. So circling. Letting your weight shift through your feet. So your ankles and the bones of your feet have some mobility. Change direction. Feeling your pubic bone and tailbone steering the circle. And let's open up into an X. Internally rotate and externally rotate. So arching and curling, cat-cow with internal rotation and external rotation in the hips and shoulders. Internally rotate, externally rotate. In and out, in and out, in and out. Two more. Rotate in, round your spine, curl, open it up. Doesn't have to be your biggest spinal movement, but get something going in the legs and arms. Good. Then we're going to do this arm, just swinging your arms, one forward, one back. And then you're going to keep it going over the top. So they swing and they keep going over the top. So it's a full arm circle. Let your body move. So we're spiraling, all going in one way. Then we're going to change direction, just swing. And then the other way, swinging up and over. Spiraling in your torso. Nice movement in your rotator cuff. So we can think that this whole arm, your humerus going up into your rotator cuff, as it's making those circles, is doing this gradated rotation all the way around. So it's not like up, 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 huge adjustment, up, 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 huge adjustment. We want to think of it spiraling. So there's this spirally energy. Let's just do internal rotation and external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation. My hands are kind of making a figure 8, and this is kind of slumpy and then open. So a smaller version of what we were doing with the big cat cow, but getting this movement through the arms, in and out, in and out. And why are we doing this? because I can really feel the muscles in my upper back, neck. And also, it's just good for our arms. I think I've seen very few systems that really address all the capacities of what your arms can do, like very few systems of movement. In fact, none, because all of them are using the arms in one way or another. Laban looks at it in really interesting ways so that you see what's possible, Laban Bartenieff, but it doesn't, Laban's a way of looking at movement more than a system of doing movement. Bartenieff has got a little bit of a system to move, but it's basically just building blocks of movement. Let's sit on a cross-legged position, open your arms out, stretching from side to side. Letting your head go off vertical. Letting your spine readjust. So the cushy marshmallowy discs are getting some movement. Your spinal cord is moving. Let's circle the whole way around. Take it to the side and forward. Head is reaching away from the tail to the other side. Open it up on top. Sideways, reaching forward, changing arms around and open. Side stretch. Take it forward, around, open it up. Side stretch. Gentle, fluid movement. One more. And then we're going to spiral one way and the other way. Spiraling back and forth. Just going as fast or as slow as you need to go. Maybe you want to hang out there, or maybe you want to keep it moving. Doesn't have to be your biggest stretch. And let's take it forward and down. So you're going to take it forward, relax your head down, soften your neck and jaw. Maybe just turn your head from side to side. See if you can relax your shoulders a little bit more. And then send a ripple of movement up from your tail to your head, rippling through your spine. Bringing in some free flow movement. So you're not over efforting with the muscles. You're just letting your body move as easily as possible. And then roll it up through your spine and change legs. Non-dominant leg goes in front. And let's just start with the circle. So sideways, take it forward, switching to the other side and opening up. A little bit different on the side. Just a little slower. So when we're kind of getting our tissue open and more pliable, we don't necessarily want to be going to our most extreme stretches for that. We want to be doing something that's getting movement in there, working the mobility, but not necessarily going for the hugest stretch, which is why we just keep moving through this. The more slowly I go, the more I can let my tissue really adjust to it in a way that it might lengthen out more. And let's take it down and soften. We're not going to do the spirals again on this side. Let your head weight really drop. You could walk your arms out if that feels good. Breathe into it. Maybe wiggle around. Micro movement, adjustment in your body. And then come up and we'll do circles on this side. So circling your pelvis, circling your guts, feeling the relationship of your cranium, your rib cage, and your pelvis. Three big bony structures. And change direction. I'm surprised people aren't calling it the pelvic vessel. Like people have started calling the rib cage the rib basket. And like, I think we want less sort of like a cage is something that you keep an animal in, or, there's a cage sounds kind of constricted. So a basket might be more supportive. And I feel like people don't like the pelvic bowl for some. And so I thought the pelvic vessel, the pelvic chalice, holding all of our organs and our sexual reproductive organs, some of them on the inside, some of them on the outside for some of us. All right, let's come onto our backs on the floor. Let yourself relax and spread for a second. So bones, muscles, everything kind of spreading and opening, relaxing into the gravitational pull of the earth. Then hands on your knees and big circles with your legs. Oh, let your lower back relax. Stirring that femur head in that ball and socket joint. Again, loves round circular movement. Change direction. And as we're stirring those femur head in there, we're promoting the production of synovial fluid, which is the lubricator of the joint. And then let's just shake out the legs for a second. Shake, shake, shake. Hit the back of your calves. See if you can loosen them up. And let's just flex and point our feet a couple of times, flexing and pointing, reaching them out and away. Some awareness of the bottom of your body, right? Your feet. And then circles with your ankles. And then the other way. I know as people age, a lot of times they get like neuropathy in their feet or hands, which is like, it could be pain, or it could be like pain in the area. And I am starting to feel this weird nervy pain in the outside of my foot. And I have to say, I did stuff those feet into point shoes for many years, and it feels like very akin to what was going on in there. So it's like sometimes you pay the piper. Let's roll back and forth, just rounding through your spine. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it yet. Well, or let's say if it doesn't feel tolerable. Good could be relative. I once asked my dad, what do you think the most important like glue of a relationship is? And he said, tolerance. So take that in. Probably goes for a lot of people. You got to be able to tolerate people and things and let people do their stuff. All right. Now for the knee drops, side to side, massaging out the back of your hips and your glutes, and letting your inner thighs open through center and close. So it's like one leg opens, 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 and then the other leg closes, 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 closes. Like a book, opening the book and then closing it to one side, opening it, closing it to the other side. And then we're going to take it all the way across. Oh, and then the other side. So this, when I do this, I'm getting a big push into the floor right underneath my shoulder blade and rhomboid. So for me, doing it this way just gives me a deeper stretch and massage into my shoulders and back, as well as getting the spiral in my spine. Let's come in and let's do a little bit of bridging. So warming up hamstrings, more pressing up. Let's just roll up and down a few times. So you can roll through your spine up and then roll it back down, letting yourself arch on the bottom if you want to. And then stay up and circle your pelvis around. Working the back of the body, pushing the floor away. Front of the body is opening up. And change direction. So this is working your hamstrings. It's a good hamstring warm up. Before you do any kind of huge deep hamstring stretching, it's good to warm up the muscles, get some blood flow through there. So circles, pushing the floor away, lifting up into that bridge are a great way to get the back of the legs and hamstrings working. Shake it out. Take a happy baby. Feel some happy babiness in the baby. Open, close, do whatever you got to do in there. Let your baby be baby-like. The squeaky deek is in the house. Let me see if I can get the other camera to work. Oops, not what I meant to do. Nope, it is not coming in. It's not recognizing itself. That's so annoying. All right, I guess we're stuck with this one. Okay, let's do a little bit of abs. I'm gonna pull this a little closer so I'm not fighting with the plant. And we will do, let's do big arm circles. So again, working with the arm circle, you're gonna flex your feet, reach them down below you, free up your hips, free up your pelvis, free up your gut body for a second. And then circle, looking down towards your feet, circling your arms, up over your head. Exhale as you come up. Inhale as you open. Exhale. Inhale. Oh, using your breath. Letting this massage out your shoulders. So you're getting that nice arm circle, you're rolling up and down, and you're working your abs. Change direction as if you're putting on a shirt. I'm only coming up just sort of past my shoulder blade, so not coming all the way up, just a quarter of the way. Working the mobility of my rotator cuff, and I am doing graded rotation through my hands as they circle around. That thing I was talking about with that ball and socket joint, arm circling, getting nice movement in the scapulohumeral rhythm. Is it the other way, humeral scapula rhythm? I'm not sure. I feel like I knew it as one thing, and then I heard somebody, and that's the way I learned it in Laban. And then I heard somebody in Alexander Technique person say it the opposite way, and it kind of flipped my knowing. I think it's scapulohumeral rhythm. Anyway, let's take our legs up and go for a big twist, turning your head away from your legs. Reach out your legs if you want to. Make it harder, get deeper into the L shape. Head can either just stare at the ceiling or look away from your legs if your back feels good, or turn it in the same direction as your legs if your back is hurting. If it hurts to twist, take your head with you. I do love this exercise. I feel like this is one of my lower back healing exercises for the things that go wrong for me. And part of that is the twisting, but part of it's also just rolling across my hips and lower back. All right, coming in. Let me take off this thing. I'm gonna have to do it all. Hold on. This sweatshirt is like a grabber of my t-shirt. So getting it off without stealing my shirt too is challenging. All right. Okay. Let's grab our weights. If you have weights, great, use them. If you don't, you can just do this with your arms, or you can grab a book or something heavy to hold on to. A jug of water, a cup of water, or it's not a cup of water, a water bottle. I have 2 3-pound weights. I'm holding them together in my hands. I'm going to knock my knees together and turn in my feet. So pigeon-toed knock knee, just stabilizing my lower body without overly working my lower body, but just keeping the bones in place. And I'm going to circle my arms around. If you have a weight, even a single like 5-pound weight, you could use it, or even a 10-pound weight if you are used to doing weights. Letting this massage through the space in your upper back. but also getting this circle around your body. And change direction, other way. Last one. So most of my work in these classes is that I'm not working to build, I'm working to maintain. Sometimes if it's like arm strength, maybe build a little bit, but if it's like other things, I'm working really for my body so that I can do all my harder things like pole dancing and ballet and whatnot, running around. But it may be different for you. Like if you don't move a lot, then maybe this is building. Let's open the hands out to the sides. If you don't have weights, you're not going to use anything. If you have weights, great, 2 weights, up and down. We're not going for like huge weight to make like huge muscle gains. We're doing it to like improve the integrity of the system as is, but we're not going for the burn. Let's put it that way. We're not going to like exhaust muscles level of working, which is also good sometimes. It's just not what is happening right now for me. Might be happening for you. And it might be like, oh, this all just feels kind of easy. And that's sort of the way it should be. This class should feel like, oh, I just did the lube job for my car. It's like, that's the kind of like, this is a maintenance program so that you can keep moving easily for the rest of your life and you're not going to injure yourself as much. Or if you do get injured, you can heal more quickly. All right, last one of those. Let's change it. Let's go hands here. You're going to have one up and one down, just shifting. If this is too much weight, my hands are slightly in front of me. Like a 1 pound weight for some ladies might be enough. For some dudes, maybe 3s, 4s, 5s, maybe more. Anyway, or no weight, just reaching up and down. It might be enough. Good, and then bring it in. Get rid of your weights. And let's grab, if you have a block, grab your block. This is my block. It is very chewed up by Squeaky Deaky. He loves it. I don't know what it is about these weird plastic materials that like make cats go wild. Like this, the mat, they all want to scratch the mat. Squeaky loves to attack the block. It is covered in scratch marks and bite marks. And it's kind of a narrow block. Like ideally you'd want a slightly wider block. Stick it down on your pubic bone, squeeze your legs together, touch your toes down to the floor, arms up over your head. Exhale, coming up, pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale down. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep breath. Exhale up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Let go of tension as you come down. Exhale up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep breath in. Exhale up, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. We're going to add a flex on top and then point. Inhale down, coming up, flex and point. Inhale, exhale, flex through your feet, point your toes. Inhale, exhale up, flex, point, touch it down. Exhale up, flex, point, touch it down. Exhale up, flex, point, take it down. Last one, up, flex, point, and relax. So that's an upper versus lower exercise. Homologous, upper versus lower. Homolateral, one side versus the other. Contralateral, cross body, that's where we're going next. But just naming that, because if you do a workout that keeps shifting through these developmental patterns of upper versus lower, right versus left, cross body movement, then you are giving your nervous system a really three-dimensional toning, right? Like a little bit of movement in all these different ways is super healthy for our human bodies. Let's cross and touch. Let's go elbow to knee and stretch it out. So opposite arm to leg. You can take your head off if you want to. My feet are open. a little bit wider. It's like more of a long X than a perfect cross X, right? Like I'm in a door frame, reaching out. Let's change it to straight arm and straight leg. I'm just going to leave my head on the floor. I'm going to try and connect right up in front of me and take it down. Coming up, opening it out. Use your breath. Exhale up, inhale down. And I'm pointing my feet, trying to make this really long line. You could also like flex heel of hand and foot and then reach as you come down. Let's try that. So flexing through the hand and foot and then reaching it out. Flexing and reaching. Flexing and reaching. Last one. Flexing and reaching. And then slide your legs up. Open them wider than the sticky mat and internally rotate one leg at a time. This is another super important exercise for your hips and lower back, right? Internal rotation. Spiraling in so that the tissue has capacity to do things besides just the straight stuff. But even like when we give these extra stretches, it means that the layers of our fascia, so we have like the superficial fascia on top, we have like the big bandy bits like our back, our IT band, you know, Achilles, the part of the Achilles where it's tendony. So our big sort of tendony ligamenty bits that are really strong. And then we have like the slidey glidey stuff that is kind of more gelatinous, but it still has a lot of integrity. And those are often, you know, cross hatched, like one layer is going like that, the other layer is going like that. So we want them to be able to move and not get gummed up, right? If you're feeling like you can't move, you might be a little adhesed, and you also just might have more rigidity in your in the fiber in your body, right? Which means that you're probably holding a fair amount of tension, but also like that's how you've learned to be a person. So it's not like you're going to suddenly release all that tension. I had one client who was in his 70s asked me, who's a big hulking like strong man. He's like, when am I just going to feel relaxed and easy, and when is my, you know, tendons and ligaments going to get loose? I'm like, it's not. Why would it change? Press it up, shake it out. Like the whatever sort of tension patterns you're holding for your life, if you don't do a lot to release them, you're going to hold them. That's what it is. Like it takes a lot to change patterns in our bodies. But the way to do it is to learn different ways of being, and that's it. And moving. All right, let's take our legs up, big circles, circling out and down. I'm going to flex up and point down. Flexing through my heels. They don't have to be this big. It can be smaller circles, whatever feels good to you. And I am letting my pelvis come up off the floor here. But this could be a small circle on the ceiling working towards just straightening your knees or lengthening out through your legs. This would be fine. Also, if you are watching my channel, I am now going to point up and flex down. I am very flexible. So if you're thinking, why don't I look like that? That might never be something that happens, right? So we have to be working in what's going on in the relative terms of our own body mind, which isn't going to look like anyone else's entirely. They're all different. Let's take the legs out, just give them a shake and roll from side to side, massaging through your back. And also hypermobility in your joints makes your muscles have to work a lot harder to maintain stability. So we aren't necessarily going for that, right? Some people think it's so great to be super flexible, but if you aren't performing as a gymnast or a dancer or in Cirque du Soleil, you know, or a yogi, you might not need to be that flexible, right? It might not actually make sense. So sometimes people think that, or they think they need to be so strong and they lose mobility because all they're doing is building muscle. All right, let's go one leg at a time in. 1, 2, 3, and circle out and away, changing directions. 1, 2, 3, legs change. 1, 2, 3, circle it out. 1, 2, 3, and circle. So what I think we need more than having a super flexible body is a body that can move easily, right? So working on our functional mobility sounds so boring, but just the capacity to move easily. So our joints are hydrated, our fascia, the layers are integrated in a way that's not all stuck. Free up your spine, let it go. So head, tail, shake it out, jiggle it, shake like a bowl of jello, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. And then we're going to take a heel rock. So digging your heels into your mat. You're going to, it's not really a flexum point, it's just a digging of the heels. A little bit of plantar and dorsiflexion in the foot, but not a whole lot. And you're just sending a wave of movement up your body, up and down. Free up your head, neck, jaw, ribs. Let it go. Floopity floppity. Release. And then let's just roll from side to side. So rolling onto your side and opening through the middle onto the other side. Just go back and forth a few times. This is really about massaging and releasing. Inner body getting softer, holding less tension, more ease in the body, massaging through your back and your hips. Let your head stay connected to the floor. So you're pouring your body from one side to the other. Melting into the floor, completely releasing into gravity. We are not fighting gravity. It is a battle we will never win. So letting your body give into gravity, melting into the earth. And then we can open all the way through the center and close it in. Got the white kitty skulking around. And let's flip and come onto hands and knees. Yeah, so being able to get from one position into another position, into another position, into another position, that's mobility, right? That's functional movement. I can get around without struggling. And really, that's what all of this movement should be for, to make it so that you can move easily in your life. Not that like, oh, now I've got this perfect leg that looks exactly right. But really, we need a functional leg that moves well and doesn't get injured. Curl your toes under, take it to a downward dog. Just bend one knee and then the other. Yeah. Participatory body, not an objectified from the outside, looked at and ripped apart body, but a body that we're participating in and enjoying and working with. Lift your heels, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it forward. You are going to be in your body for the rest of your life. Drop your head, push, roll it up. Could you have a better relationship with that? Heels up, scoop it in, roll it forward, reach it out. Drop your head, push, roll it up and lower. Last one. Heels high, scoop it in, round your spine, roll it forward, and then let's just lower the knees back down. And come up onto your knees. I'm not going to worry about fixing the camera because this is really about this action. Like you're going to sit down and then bringing it back up, taking it back, butt towards your heels, and then pressing back up. This action of being able to go up is what a lot of older people have a hard time with, is getting out of the chair, right? So we're training that in our pelvis, but also like giving our knees a stretch. Quads get a stretch as we go down, and then they're working at the same time. Let's take it, if it feels okay, into a little bit of a hinge and then come back up. So if you're super strong and flexible, you might be able to take that all the way down to the floor. At one point, I know I could take it down. And if I use my hands, I can go down to that position, but I want to just do what I can do and bring myself back up from. So I'm working my way to wherever I can go and then bringing myself back. And you can go back and forth between those two exercises. If it hurts your knees, then skip it. But I feel like this is one of the knee rehab exercises I did when I had that pes anserine bursitis. And I feel like this was one of the game changers. Plus doing all the leg stuff with the turned in, turn out, flexed, pointed, all that, which I have a ton of those back in probably March and April of this year, of this past year, 2023. There was a lot of Laura's leg rehab in our class. All right, let's take it onto hands and knees. Opposite arm to leg, out, in, out, and come down. So that was an upper versus lower pattern before. Now we're doing contralateral with upper versus lower. Out, in, out, and change. Long spine. We're going to change it. Use a cat-cow. Out, bring it in, bring it out, come down. Arch, curl, arch. Arch, curl, arch. Arch, curl, arch. Arch, curl, arch. Out, in, out. And relax. Take it down to our sides. So when we're moving our spine, getting more spinal movement, it's nourishing our discs as well, which don't have veins. The blood flow for our discs, they're not, what's it called? There's no vascular structure going into our discs, but the stuff that's moving around them is what works to clean and clear and nourish them. So we need movement to get that happening. Let's take, I hope I said the right thing. I'm pretty sure I read that. But you know, I am subject to making mistakes, but I'm pretty sure that that is accurate news. Let's go with one hand up. Your knees are bent. You're going to press up and bring it down. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Switch it around to the other side. See, this is the hard part, right? Or not the hard part, the important part, the transition from here to there. How did you get there? Was it a struggle? Up and down 1. If you can do the exercise, great. But do we ever really need to do this exercise in our life? No, but we do need to get around. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, 12. Take it down. And let's just do this for more mobility. Rolling from side, circle it up, take it down to the floor, open it up, paint the rainbow, have a moment of exaltation on top, and then surrender down to the earth. Exaltation and surrender. Or release, right? Sometimes surrender, we think of it in war terms as somebody who had to give up because they weren't strong enough. But it could also be that you're surrendering just to let go, right? Open and let go. Surrendering the fight. I am no longer going to fight. I surrender. And that fight could be with yourself, with your partner, right? Let it go. And let's come back down onto our sides. Let's do this side first. We're going to do the arch and curl. Bottom knee is bent. So you're going to reach back and then pull it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're just doing 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. Swing it around to the other side. Again, that's the money right there, the swing around. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I'm being spectated by the white cat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's do a hip stretch, taking it down. Cross your ankle over your knee, but a really gentle one, just letting your legs fall from side to side. Release it down one side and then the other. Massaging through your hips and lower back. And then bring it in, draw it in towards you. You can either grab from underneath, grab your foot, whatever you want to do. Breathe into it. Inviting the internal adjustment of your body so that you're moving towards health within your system. Breathe as big as you need to breathe. Whole body breathing. So laying here, I can feel my breath flow. I can feel my heartbeat. And then release it. Let's give it a little shake before we do the other side. So the shaking just brings us back to a neutral, right? Anytime we're going from one like extreme to another, a stretch or a muscle work, if we do a little shake, we come back to neutral, which means it's easier to go in the other direction. Other side, just dropping one side and then the other. Really relaxed. Letting it fall, letting go of tension. Melting, massaging out your lower back and hips. Freeing up your inner body. Participation in being in your body. It's you. It's not something separate to look at and judge. It's something to feel into and to be in resonance with, or a relationship. I mean, it's a relationship with yourself. Draw it in. Optional, whatever version of this you want to do. And if we really feel into each exercise, it's like, oh, maybe I should try it like this. Maybe I should try it like that. Like, listen to your body. And then let it go. Give it a shake. Jiggle, free up your spine. And let's roll onto our bellies. From there, bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side, massaging through your quads. If you really need that massage, go slower. So like people sometimes ask me about the foam roller. Like, do I do foam rollering? And sometimes I do, but I feel like the floor itself and just releasing into gravity can do a lot of what you're asking the foam roller to do. Circles with your feet. And a lot of times in like gym culture here, because people are taught to like go to the burn, which is fine sometimes. Like we do want to go to those extremes sometimes. Change direction, but often people don't have any subtlety of sensation in their body when they're always working at those extremes. So we want to come into awareness of subtler sensations within our body so that we can start to let go of tension. Tension masks sensation, and that we can move more easily. All right, let's take your feet down, head on your hands, just push up and down. Breathe and melt. And then tops of the feet on the floor, hands next to your chest, baby cobra. Inhale up. Exhale down, working your back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, going all the way up. You're going to go to baby cobra, no hands. Connect your hands. Go as high as feels good and take it back down. Use your breath. Spine lengthening and opening, and then releasing back down into the floor. Only go as high as feels good. And if you want to, you can bend your knees, try and touch your toes to your head. Couple more times. Last one. And take it back into a child's pose. Breathe down into your belly, wiggle around. Soften and squish. Big three-dimensional breathing into your body so your whole torso expands on the inhale. and then releases on the exhale, growing and shrinking with the breath. And when you're ready, take it back down to your belly on the mat. And we're going to we'll start with a quad stretch and then a half bow. So drawing your heel in towards your butt. If you can grab your leg, great. If you can't, sometimes you can use a sock or something to pull in, or a little strap, or your pant leg, whatever you can grab onto. Draw it in. Once you get in there, you're just going to slightly externally rotate, and then, or sorry, that's internal rotation in the thigh, and then externally rotation. So your heel is coming towards the outer butt and then towards this midline. Just a little bit of turning in and out there. Getting the layers of fascia and muscle, even the muscle casings, which are fascia, to have some room to move against each other. So there's sliding and gliding within your body on these surfaces. And even within muscles, like they're not going to fall apart. And let's kick it out and up. Half bow, reach and open, breathe. If you sit a lot, this is a good exercise to do, opening the front of your body and release. And in this day and age, who isn't sitting too much? Heel in towards your butt, internal and external rotation. If you're following my channel, please like and subscribe. There, that's my plug. If you're doing these workouts, consider supporting my work with a Patreon donation or all the things, Zelly, Venmo, Patreon, PayPal. I have it all available. And reach it out and up, breathe. And release. Let's arch all the way up, take it down into your child's pose again. This time you're going to interlace your hands out in front of your head, drop your head down, roll up onto the crown of your head, and then take it back. Butt towards your heels, rolling up, curling, and releasing it back down. Listening into your own body. And from there, we're going to take it forward into our forearm plank. Parallel, one knee to the floor at a time, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, crossing under 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Push forward and backward, head to heel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and take it down and relax, shake it out, soften and melt, release the tension, let go. And then let's bend both knees, grab on, full bow pose, picking it up. You're going to inhale, knees open, exhale, close. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last one. And release. Arch up, back to your child's pose. Really fill up your belly, or at least deep breathing into your lungs. Let your gut body move. Breathing into your cells. Deep cellular breathing. Whether or not you think about doing it, that is what is happening. Your cells breathe. So oh, this has been a long one. We are almost done. Let's just take a forward fold. I can feel my knees getting all wonky again. Forward fold, breathe into it. Yeah, I've got to continue to do the Pes and Serene work. So probably on Saturday at the 9:30 class, I will do a whole bunch of leg rehab for my own leg Take it forward and down. Yeah, I didn't have any of these knee problems until I stopped doing ballet. And I'm still doing ballet, but haven't done it in a couple of weeks. So I feel like it does a lot to really strengthen your legs. And let's take it into a standing forward fold. Open your feet wide, shift from side to side. But we did get started late today because I was on the phone with the mechanics trying to get both of my cars in. And I tell you, there just aren't very many mechanics these days. It's really hard. Bend your knees and roll up. And when I say both of my cars, I live in a household with two other people and we share the cars. So it's not like I have a million cars that I'm hoarding. All right, that is it for today. Anybody in TB land, nobody stayed this long, but if you do, come for the workout.